Welcome back, guys, to the Kinda Nice podcast. This is episode 48, and we have the one and only Grant McCartney back from his travels. I know you guys missed him.
I've been gone. I've been out and about.
So he'll bring some stories, and then we have Matt Carmona. You've seen Matt around, but today you're getting Mr. Medium Mona, Richard Carmona,
aka Young Rich Ruler, aka CEO of
Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A CEO,
my pleasure,
aka My Pleasure,
Mr. Pleasure.
It is my pleasure to serve you.
CEO of My Pleasure, here for your pleasure.
Here for your pleasure.
We're talking
a facilitator of pleasure. We can call him.
Lots of pleasure.
This is getting out of hand.
It is really getting out of hand.
Gotta be careful with how much pleasure we bring.
That's true.
So he's gonna be in our Chick-fil-A corner. So we're gonna throw stuff his way. See what he has to say from a Chick-fil-A point of view. Officially not representing Chick-fil-A today. Thank you.
Yeah, and also when you talk in the mic, fist away from the mic.
Fist.
A fist. Yeah. So if you use your fist as a measuring tool, you got to get up in there. Yep, that's the one.
Oh,
wow. That goes to all of our listeners who are trying to figure out.
Yeah, you got a good posture because if you're out here, they're going to be bummed.
It's kind of deep.
Yeah.
And if you're up here too.
And they're going to be bummed if you're a little too close too. Anyways, but Grant, you've been gone. You were what? Australia, Hawaii, Polynesia, Asia. This man's out there. Did you find yourself out there?
Yeah, Bubs. The plan was to go looking to see if I could find myself. And turns out I was with me the whole time.
Oh, God.
No. So, man, I don't know. What was the last bit we talked about? Let's see. I went to Hawaii. I turned 34. Shout out to being 34.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I was in Hawaii with the fam out there, and it was good times. I was there a couple weeks, and then we had to fly from Hawaii to Sydney to Bali. Bali was a couple weeks there just surfing and kind of disappearing. And, me and my homie, aka Poopy Trousers, Kels, him and I just maybe been through some girl stuff, some girl issues.
Girl problems.
Yeah, and we decided, we'll just kind of lay low, not worry about all that for a little bit and just surf. And so it was good, man. Good waves, great people. CrossFit gym out there. I got to link up with that crew. I'll probably be doing a retreat out there. So if anybody's ever wanted to go to Bali, we'll make it quick and easy and simple for you guys. Have like your flight, hotel, adventures. You'll get a hike up in a volcano, getting some water. Train with me every day. So I'll set that up and try to pick the time of year I want to do it. Definitely want to get people out there, man, because Bali is really cool. And it's a long haul, though, Bubs.
That is a long haul, man.
I went from there to Tennessee for the...
How long was that trip total, Bali to Tennessee?
Where is Bali?
Bali...
It's like kind of Philippines-ish.
It's in the islands out there, but it's not. It's like not. It's not It is Indonesian, I guess, but it's not. It's like off to the side. It's its own. So it's Balinese. But anyways, yeah. So it's 26 flight hours to get from Bali to Tennessee. And
it's just not. That's like I love traveling, but man, that's
over a day.
That's a toll, bro.
That's a whole day of my life I spent sitting on a plane.
That's rugged.
Yeah.
Traveling is fun, but like I'm trying to get to my destination within a day. I'm not trying to mess around and be like traveling for over 24 hours.
And I think I'll figure a better route, obviously for the retreat. A
little Houston to Bali, straight shot.
Yeah, they got them Houston Bali straight up. I'll probably go from Houston to Sydney, and that's probably a banger flight. And then it's only I think it's 6 hours from there. But I went from Bali, and then I would stop in Hawaii. I stop in Sydney, stop in Bali, or stop in Sydney, stop in Hawaii, stop in Houston, then get to Tennessee.
I thought the main spot people went to Bali from was Singapore.
I don't think, but there's a lot of Australians though, Bubs.
In Bali,
there is so many Australians out there. I was like, this is wild. There was like no Americans. I met a couple Canadians, but I don't think I've met any Americans.
It's so close to Australia. It's like just right above them.
It's a quick 5-6 hours. And it's so cheap, man. It's like the food's good and it's cheap. And
you missed out on the Ben Polson episode.
Oh, I did.
We had young Ben on.
Dang.
That was a good one.
What's your boy have to say?
He's trying to move to America, I think. He's trying to come over on this side.
Dang, he's coming to America. I'm trying to leave.
He's like, I'm going to move to Los Angeles. I was like, bro, that dream is 5 years old. Nobody's doing that anymore.
Oh, dang.
Educating him.
Tell him one in, one out, Yeah. I'll leave. He can come in. He can take my spot. But
How's
yeah,
Australia though? Do you not? I don't feel like you spend much time in Australia. You're kind of there layover.
I do like Australia. The first off, Australians, y'all are wild. Not everyone, but there is a lack of filter sometimes we have here that is not necessarily bad either, Dappy. They will tell you exactly what they're thinking.
Australians will?
Oh, yeah.
So they're blunt?
Yeah.
I can see that.
So is that the only wild side?
Throwing this over to the young rich ruler, is Chick-fil-A thinking about opening up a division in Sydney anytime soon? International?
I've heard of international chats, but
Are they? Wait, I
Sydney?
thought
don't know.
is
I don't
Chick-fil-A
know.
only America? They're no
Yeah.
I think there's one or two in Canada.
Word?
I think so.
Canadians
News
got
to
them.
me.
I think something like
Dude,
that.
for some reason, I want to say I was like in France and I saw a Chick-fil-A, but I'm probably
No,
not.
you're definitely tripping.
Word. Well, yeah, I mean, I
Maybe
thought
I can
about
be the first. Maybe I'll open the first one there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Dang.
That'd be
Okay,
cool.
if you open one, are you going play place or no play place in the building?
Oof. I don't know much about Australian children.
Do you have a play place in your store?
Yeah, but a lot of Chick-fil-A's are doing like
No play place.
they're doing like office spaces instead.
What about
And
the
like
kids?
they'll
Though?
hold like no more.
Dude, the
moms
play
and
place
kids.
it kind of went
Like-
down to the play. Back in my day,
Dude, it would go
in
down.
the play place,
Yeah.
it was a good time. I would try to go to like McDonald's just to go to the play place. I didn't really care for
I
McDonald's.
remember that kind of deal.
Are these kids still peeing in this?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Are
It's
they
like-
peeing there?
Oh man, bro, Saturdays are the worst.
Are you the guy
Dang.
cleaning it up?
Sometimes
Oh no!
gotta lead by example, Chick-fil-A way.
Yeah, that's
It's
rough.
his pleasure to clean it up too.
I gotten pretty good at it too.
Is it?
But the play is the worst because that kind of flooring in there.
Yeah, it gets all, like,
you can't get under it.
Oh no!
Oh,
so we
just
actually
leaks
we
through.
hire someone to come in and clean the playlands. But I swear they don't do much.
I can see that being a cesspool now that I think about
Yeah,
it.
it is. Yeah,
You
it is.
know, you got to build immunity somehow as a kid. It's the
Yeah.
play places.
I think
Chick-fil-A play
that's where it all
place.
starts.
Oh gosh.
No.
That's where immunity all starts, baby.
Chick-fil-A get your nutrition on and get you a little immunity booster in the play place.
Just don't dive headfirst in the ball pit. I've always known that.
A ball pit. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to you.
Luckily, we don't
Yeah,
have
it's a
we don't
shallow
have a
ball
ball
pit.
pit.
They've gotten done away with that stuff, huh?
I don't think Chick-fil-A's ever had ball pits.
No, I don't think they've ever
Maybe
had ball.
McDonald's.
Play place. I don't know
I'm
what
not
play places you're going to that have
Bro,
ball pits.
I'm 34. Okay. I just
Playlands
turned
were way more advanced than 30 years
34.
ago.
I'm the oldest in this room by far.
Yeah.
So-
Well, not by far. It's like 5 years on like.
That's a half a decade.
Would you say
that's
you
fair.
act your age?
I don't know. I don't know what my age is supposed to be, but I know that like I definitely do a lot. And
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people my age are doing what I'm doing, but
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I would say no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick us off since we're kind of going random. We're gonna go to kind of like a discussion topic. So first we're gonna do for friendships, right? For like just like homies, friends. It could be male, female, whatever you want. But you got to pick your when you're not looking for friends, but when like you have a friendship with somebody. What are the top 3 qualities or attributes you either A, look for, or B, are like attracted to like actually like be friends with someone, right? So like these are like 3 things that you value a lot, to where like if somebody has these, you're like, oh yeah, we could be great friends. Because recently I've been making like new friends with like the volleyball crowd that I'm hanging out with a lot more, and I find myself noticing like, oh, like people that have this attribute of them can very easily become close friends with, and then people that don't, I'm like want nothing to do with. So I'm curious what other people's answers to that question.
Can I start
is.
this off?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not attracted to any of my friends. Yeah.
Fair enough. I worded that poorly.
At least he's honest. So the friends that I'm attracted to, I like strong arms.
Oh no!
What was that? How was I supposed to word that? That was.
You used the word attractive, and that's where you went wrong.
I don't know.
That's
I see
tough.
what you're
I know what you
doing,
meant.
bro.
See what I'm-
I know
you
what
see what I'm
meant.
talking about
Yeah,
there.
We
no,
know
I
where
get
you're
it.
going. That's
Just have to mess with.
some that came to mind to me are I don't know, and I don't know why I've always done this, and I've realized it because of skateboarding, because of rugby, and just the people I ended up picking to be my like good friends.
Yeah.
They're all quirky people.
Yeah.
They have like they're like interestingly in like one of great examples. My buddy Zan in Hawaii. Shout out Zan if you ever hear this. He is just so unique at how he operates. You could see him and be like, "Why does he respond that way?" or get so excited or do that thing. And him doing that makes me be like, I don't know what's up with this dude, but I like him. And I just kind of knew early on I was like going to be friends with him. And rugby isn't a collective of those people, and skateboarding is too. So I just kind of have always liked the just weird, unique things about people. Now that doesn't mean like I'm just going to be friends with oddities, like I think, but I enjoy that, and I like how people do life differently. So
okay, so like a unique factor. I feel that, like,
yeah, for me,
because it could be tough if, I mean, and not to like poop on people with like a regular job, but when you're like, especially when you live like kind of lifestyles like we do, you like if somebody's like, yeah, you're like, oh, what do you do? It's like, oh, like I work a 9 to 5 and then go home and like watch Netflix, and you're like, oh, cool,
yeah,
we'll just keep sliding on that. But that's hard too, because you know you got to make ends meet. For me personally,
yeah, what'd you find out at the volleyball course?
It's weird too, because sometimes like people that are like really outspoken and positive and like kind of like have that like that banter, like the, you know, just jokes left and right, like kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but there's people who don't take themselves too seriously, and but also and this is kind of weird, but like if like you're like athletic and good at something like volleyball or like even like in ninja, right, it's easier for me to be friends with somebody who's like more athletic and can do things than if like somebody's got like just is not athletic and like I can't really.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
There's a lot that comes with being good at something, because it's not that maybe it's attractive that someone's just good, and it can be, but it takes, you know, one thing, you know, if someone's good is they have somewhat of a hard work ethic. They have
let you
some
know
ability to push through adversity. They have some ability, you know, there's a lot of things that make you good at something.
So when you say that, it makes me think of Randy, because Randy only hangs around good looking, like fit dudes, and I'm like, yo, why are you so selective? But then he explained it to me like that. He was just like, he's like, it takes dedication. I know you have like a certain amount of like this and that, and so yeah, that's a good way to put it. To where it doesn't make you sound as vain, to where you're like, I just like good looking people.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thought to take over into the side of like dating. I've never thought about that. Like,
yeah, I was gonna go there next. I was buttering
hold
us
on,
in with just the
on.
homies first, right? But another one for me, I think my top tier, like that's more like an attribute and not
pretty
like
eyes.
A physical thing. You gotta have
Long
pretty
hair.
eyes if you want to be a homie.
he said curly hair. Long curly hair.
For me, on a serious note, is like loyalty, right? If I see somebody who's like, even if it's like not disloyal to me, but I'm kind of entering a friendship with somebody, and I see like a trait that like they're disloyal to someone, or they're like kind of back and forth, and like it just makes me not trust them. That's immediately like I immediately put that person in like a box of like, okay, we could be like cordial and cool, but I'm not gonna like go hang out with you on weekends.
Would that extend to someone who's loyal to what they believe even?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What if they were loyal to something they believe that like you don't believe in, but they were still really loyal to it? Would that spark the same interest? Let's say
if they were able to back up why, right? If they just like, if it was just like a blind belief or blind like, oh, this is just what like I was, you know, this is how it's been done around here forever, so this is what I believe in, versus like we can have a conversation about it and they can back it up and like I can see why they think that way. I feel like those are two very different things, because one is like, okay, I can understand why you're like this, and the other one is just like, oh, you just can't see a different perspective.
So then that would relate to somebody who is a friend, or let's say that's, you know, you're talking about a love interest, a girl you're talking to.
You're already trying to go to the girls. Well, let them answer. The other boys haven't answered yet.
We'll circle back.
Relax.
Circle and back.
All right, Richard, what you got?
Traits and friends.
Traits and friends.
Remember, fist away from the mic.
Oh man, this sucks.
You can
Probably
lower the
like-
mic, I think.
Probably like genuine.
Well, the seat can come up, actually. Your seat is super
lowering
low.
the mic. It's too late. We're lowering the mic.
No, raise the seat up a
No,
little
I
bit. People are
refuse.
going to think you're like 5'5".
Well, maybe I am.
You look
5'5".
short in the video. Shout out to
Sorry,
everyone
my
who's
bad.
watching the videos right now.
I am 5'5".
Oh,
Don't
wait,
let them
hold on.
tell
Now
you
that Grant
otherwise.
says it, if you want to watch the videos, you can go to patreon.com/kinda-nice. Check out full featured
is
length
better.
video podcasts. We have over 20, maybe over 30 of them now. There's a ton of them, and there's a bunch of exclusive content. We do Q&As, Zoom meetings once in a while, seldomly, and yeah, shout out to all the patrons, Nanuka, all those guys. You guys help us keep this thing going. Back to you, Richard. What were you gonna-
Yes.
Traits.
For me, it's actually pretty difficult because I'm the kind of person who's always had the mindset of like being equal to everyone and thinking like connect with them, they're my friend, but I realize by now in my life, there is a certain inner circle of friendship that I allow. And what that gets to with certain people that I want to let in is like genuineness.
Yeah. Authenticity.
Just authenticity.
Okay.
Like, cause some people just come to you and ask you questions like they want, I don't know, they want something from you. Or
some people just put you on a podcast and ask you what they think.
Something like that. But like, also they make me feel like secure. Like if I'm with them, can I just hang with them in their house and not feel like on guard? I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I feel at home with them.
Some of
Same
that
with
is
the girl.
You guys are already trying to hop to the
sorry,
these women.
but maybe
this is crazy.
Maybe my friendships are like my female relationships.
Tying up.
I don't know.
Rock, how about you, big dog? Anything over there that as friends, solely friends,
platonic male friends,
any traits of people you made friends with that you thought you maybe didn't notice, but you're like, I like this and I like this, but I think we could be better friends than like someone you met and just like, nah.
Yeah, it's so a lot of my friends were built off of something that we had like kind of the same interest in, like going to the gym. I met people there. It was always people who try to push themselves a little bit more. Like they didn't take themselves too serious, but at the same time, they weren't complacent. They're like, I'm gonna get to this next level, but at the same time, I'm gonna be humble about it. I'm not gonna be in your face and tell everybody what all this stuff. So like that, and then humor, man. You gotta take a punch and also dish it out at the same time. If you can do that, then right at home.
That's dope.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's fun.
Answer.
I mean, I grew up, my homies we in the back of the bus, we would every day would rag on each other. And I'm surprised we would rag on each other about the same stuff. I mean, there's only so much you can say about somebody. We'd say it different ways, in hurtful ways. And that was a big thing. You had to not only be able to hold your own, to give it, joke on somebody, but also take it and be fine and still be homies. Like, so yeah, we made a lot of friends over that, which may not be the best way to love each other,
right.
but as friends, as guys, at least we
especially when you're young too.
kind of do that. I don't know why we roast each other like that.
Good
All right, let's get into
session.
girls. Come on now. That's what we're trying to get to.
Everyone's excited for
Traits and what was it?
Traits in for me, I wrote down qualities and friendships that like I put top 3, but we haven't really been doing top 3s, but it's whatever. But I guess traits that you're trying to think of another word.
Well,
Out of the hole.
before we get into that,
Attractive.
say
you
you
got?
do meet this girl.
Oh,
we're talking about
ladies.
Yeah,
He's there.
And so Ricky Williams, I don't know if y'all know him. He's an ex-football star, NFL player. He took some astronomy class, and he found out there was an imbalance in his relationship with his wife. Now he's changing his last name to her name. Would y'all do that?
For what
Because he
reason?
took an astronomy class?
Yeah, he said like a class, and they found out there was like an imbalance in their relationship. Like she's like this lawyer who's pretty good, but he's Ricky Williams. So when he walks in the building, he takes all the energy off of her, even though she's more successful with her field of what she's doing.
I can see why he did that, kind of.
I don't think the same thing applies.
I
to
see
me,
the
though.
logic behind it, like to where like now like the focus is on him, but since he has her last name, the focus is also on her.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
I'm shooketh at our generation right now.
the thing is, if she has his last name, it should still not matter, right?
Right?
Because she's also Williams at that point if they're married. So I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak from a point of view of like, because since I'm at being a guy, I know that my name moves on or whatever, that I'm like, it doesn't really matter, because maybe it would matter if I didn't move on, I guess. But I'm also like, I mean, you're with that person. You're spending your life with that person. So you're spending so much with that person. It's like the name part doesn't seem that big a deal. But
it wouldn't matter at that point, yeah.
I don't know. I don't. That seems so weird. I would try to find another way to.
Yeah, I feel like there could be another.
Make
was
a
that the
better
only
balance.
option? The
Yeah,
only
yeah,
option to solve the issue? Like,
Yeah. Which is, I guess, is not that big a deal. Maybe he doesn't care about that. Or
But why is that an issue? That's the problem
I
with
don't
that
know.
whole like statement to me is like that
There could be more
entire
than
thing
meets the
comes
eye
from a
here.
place of him caring about what other people think, right? Because if it's just him and her and they have a good relationship and it doesn't matter, then whatever.
maybe it's affecting her though. Maybe she was.
But that also comes from a place of her caring about what other people think.
That's also
it has
true.
nothing to do with their relationship. It has to do with like them as a unit with their relationship with the public, right? Which is like you
It could
shouldn't
be
care.
It's also like maybe an insecurity on their end, like to even worry about it, But also, who are we to judge that? But
No, for sure, for sure. But I don't think, yeah.
I'm thinking maybe he had to do it because he messed up.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's saying that there's an imbalance and he feels bad about it. So he looks like a martyr almost, when really
He's trying to make up.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be. It could
Maybe.
be some.
God, that's a tough.
That is a toughie.
I'm just not going to speak on it too much.
But the attributes of
Someone come at
a
Let me
woman
be careful.
you were trying to chase.
I found some stuff out lately about these.
Hey, go ahead. You know what? Let you kick it off. We'll let you kick it off. You go ahead. You seem like you're excited.
Bro, I've been on the journey. You know, I didn't date for 4, 5, 6 years after, you know, a lot of my family passed away, and I realized like, oh no, I need to do this. Like I was living a very unhopeful existence in the ideas of being with somebody, and I thought that's not the way I want to live. Like I think that even in Christianity, the Lord calls us to be hopeful. So I was like, I'm gonna start doing that. And then when I got in the game, I was like, whoa, the game is different.
The game, baby.
And so what I've learned that I appreciate, one of the things that, you know, I did the list and wrote my things down that I wanted and didn't want. But the things that weren't on the list that I've come to find out is when a woman is kind to me, or I should just say is good to me, I've been going around thanking people for that. When a woman's just good to me, where some people, and I get it, that's maybe their thing. I remember one girl I liked, and she liked to bicker and kind of like jab at each other and kind of be mean, but then to like stir up this kind of like fun between us. And to her, she liked that. And to me, I just felt hurt.
I feel that. I feel that.
I was like, why would you say that? Why would you say that to me? And she, I mean, like, I could easily just jabbed right back, like as we did.
But I've had a problem with this with like friends, and it's like recently actually, and it's because like you never know when like they are mad at you, then it's no longer a joke, and it becomes passive aggressive, and it's their way to like kind of jab you without knowing, because it's like, oh, we always do this, but like now let me get a couple of like deep stabs.
Yeah, it's
so you're like,
I know some people that do that.
As fun as it can be, it's like not worth it.
It's just for me, it doesn't work for me now, and that's just who I am, and it may work for someone else or whatever. But I know that the person I'm with, ultimately, I'm going to revert to being good to them more than I'm going to want to revert to like jabbing and gestures and to somehow be good to them through being mean to them. And so like, even when it gets like real serious, something pops off, I will revert to a place of apology, understanding. And in that, I want them to listen and understand, and because I'm inviting them to know me better. And that's why I'm reverting to that position. I don't want to come at you. I don't need to assert that I'm dominant or need to be more dominant. Like I have so many things in my life that are very domineering, and I don't, this is my place to connect with you, not through dominance, but through stepping back and showing who I am with the person I care about. So
that's good.
Anyways, that's kind of deep. I didn't realize how deep that was.
You went deep.
I kind of connect with it too, though.
Kind
of relate.
You want to pick up where you left off then?
Oh man,
what you got for us, Richard?
Also, where he went to like, well, it's more of me just wanting to like share who I am with you part, and it's like, man, I can relate to that because sometimes, well, in recent relationships, I'm trying to explain the situation, like this is my heart, and you totally didn't read it right, you know, and I'm like, this was my heart, and like.
You talking about like,
I don't know.
I mean, we're dude heavy.
I think
board here, but I think that there's a
heavy.
We're all dudes.
I was about to say.
I think that, I don't know if it's the same for women, but I think everyone wants to be known, but men definitely want to be respected. But I think we also want to be known, and I think everyone wants that. But I don't know. We don't have a woman here to find that out. There's something good about being known.
What do you mean by known? Elaborate.
Like sharing the deep parts of who you are, why you think the way you do, how you act. And when someone knows that without you having to continue to tell them, you feel known.
Oh yeah.
I totally relate
for
to this.
For sure.
And that feels good.
Yeah,
that feels,
absolutely.
you feel deep connection with that person when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you're like close friends with somebody, like that's like, you know each other, right? It's not just like
I think that guys really like that. I don't know if girls are the same, as because there's arguments that women.
I'm assuming it's similar.
There's a
Feel
book
secure.
called Love and Respect, and like, so women want to be loved and men want to be respected, and when they're acting out, woman's not feeling loved, and so when a man's acting out, he's not feeling respected. So like, what you literally just like, you want to be respected, you want to be known, and
I want to be. I mean, so
that's good.
I like that.
I've learned through my own experiences, especially the last 4 like years, but like I used to think like, man, a girl's pretty and has a great personality, and that's a fix, or like that's great and that's gonna
a fix.
Well, I mean, it's not a fix. It's just like I could see like those two things just being what I need and that'd work. Like, but like
it's definitely like that's definitely what you need to open the door.
Right. No, but what I'm getting at is like I've learned like how much of my mindset needs to like link up with their mindset, like how they view life.
Yeah.
Other than just like it's not just like your interaction with how like their character matters, right? But like
equally yoked.
Yeah, it's like
that's crazy to me though, because so both of my grandparents on both sides are like when it comes to beliefs are just polar opposites. Like on my mom's side, one's Catholic, one's atheist, and on my dad's side, one's like Baha'i and the other one's like Protestant. So they're like
Baha'i, dude. There's not many people are still doing the Baha'i
that's
thing.
What I'm saying.
Wild. But I think that, and that you saying equally yoked, I think Christian people might have been like, yeah, equally yoked. But I mean, like in the Christian community, we don't describe what that verse is talking about, but equally yoked in the idea of like oxen pulling a yoke and that you're both pulling at the same time. So one's not pulling a ton and the other person's not doing anything.
Also, you're going in a circle.
Yeah. But the idea outside, if you take that same idea and take it out of like a Christian concept, because it's used most often to be like someone who believes, same belief system.
Yeah.
Do they believe in Christ? Do you believe in Christ as your savior? And yes, I think that's a paramount point. But also take it to how they like to do their day. Equally yoked could be like if they wake up early in the morning and you like to sleep in through the mornings. That's not, it can be dealt with, right? People can change their schedules or whatever, but like it would be an unequally yoked position where one person's like, I love this and I hate this, right? And it creates an unequal pulling and it could be in anything. It doesn't have to just be about faith.
But do you think that, cause I think that's even the thing with like just friendships, not even talking about just dating. I don't like somebody who's too similar to me. Because then it doesn't ever challenge me to think about my perspectives in my life and stuff. Like if I was just, it'd be like
know there's no other Graham McCartney's gang.
But you know what I mean? Like when somebody's like too like just, or like even if the person is more agreeable than most, like I think I prefer having friends that are like open to having like conversation and like, you know, constructive, you know, arguments and stuff versus somebody who's just going to be like a yes man and who's going to be super agreeable. And then, cause then like I can only get so far in that relationship. Cause I'm like, we can never even like talk about stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see. I mean, too.
And in a relationship, I'd want that too.
Talking about relationships, I dated a girl that was very agreeable to a point where I had to tell her, I go, here's the deal. I'm pretty smart. No, I said it as a joke to start, but I was like, hey, I feel like I'm pretty smart. But I know I'm so smart that I know I'm like a B average. Like I know that I'm not
smart enough to know how good I am.
Yeah, I know where I'm at. I'm not an A+ student. I'm not getting hundreds on everything. I usually mess up, you know, about B average. I'm pretty solid.
20% of the time I'm wrong.
And that's what I was saying. And I go, but every time we talk, I come out the victor, the one right, we do it my way. And I'm on numbers alone, 20% of the time, we should be doing what you think because I'm wrong. And it's never that way. So what's going on? And what came down to is the way I explained my points. She didn't like to kind of retort. And then it ended up just being me looking like I was right. And she was just, that's fine. I agree. And that's not agreeing. That's not actually proving that I'm right. That's just the way she was.
Yeah, just avoiding confrontation.
So you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, there can be very small like signs, like how someone perceives like a small situation. Like say, like I have this girlfriend, right? And she perceives like a situation between two of her friends, like, oh, one cheat on the other one. And like, maybe she just laughs about the situation and then I don't. And I'm like, it can be like, wow, I don't think that's something you should just laugh about, which is not in any way something that happened, but just an example. Like it can be something, how a woman perceives like something, how they react to it. That can be a turn off to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Or just cause you see like the way that she's perceiving something that to you is like hurtful and to her is like a joke.
Yeah.
I got one.
Yeah.
What is something comes to mind with right off the bat, very simply, something that makes you very unattracted to somebody right away. It could be physical. It could be an action. But it's just something happens.
How about we each do one physical
delicate
and one non-delicate?
There's a crowd audience, you know.
So
Rocky's going first.
Before we get to this
Rocky first.
No, this is actually a great point. It's called on social media. It's called the ick. It's a thing going on that women have been saying about the ick. They can totally be like a dude or whatever this guy is. They can be attracted to him, but he can do one thing that completely turns him off, and that's it. It's called the ick.
I've experienced it.
Grant just asked like, "What's your ick?"
Oh my god!
I'll let Kid go first.
Oh man!
I thought you were going first.
That was actually one of the things I brought today. So it's kind of cool. He brought it up.
See, me and Rock have always been on that.
Yeah, you and me, buddy.
Yeah, we've been locked.
Dang, this would be tough not to sound
we're gonna
shallow.
try to do one physical and one non-physical. Okay, so just putting the disclaimer.
A little disclaimer. This is our opinions.
It might come out shallow. It's not the point. We're just trying to say something you like. No, because there's everyone's for everyone. I always say that. That's not what I want to say. There's someone for everyone, and that I remember talking to someone the other day, and you remember I was roasting an old girl at volleyball. And she's a new friend, and she has very pale skin, and I'm very tan right now, but I'm also white. So it's like, and I was like, dang, you're really white. And she was just like, oh, and it almost came like a diss. And I'm like, no, that you're just different. It's just different. Like some people, and I said, ancient times, that was what everyone wanted.
It was great back in the day.
Yeah. And now, some people want
now, not so much, but
just find someone who likes that kind of skin tone. There's plenty of people out there for different stuff. So that's what we say when we describe our physical things. Don't be like, oh, they don't like this, so I'm not doing well. No, there's someone for everyone.
That's a good preface.
Off the rip, I think for physical, I'm gonna just pick like
dislike. These are your dislikes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So just not being like an athlete, right? Like you don't gotta be like a crazy athlete, but like you gotta at least like be running and like doing some sort of like if you're literally living like a super sedentary life to where like you're never working out or never going on walks, never running, like that is such a big part of my life to where like I couldn't be someone that doesn't.
Hey.
He's doing the Kawhi Leonard.
I know exactly what's happening.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I know exactly what's happening. That makes me think of mine.
For the other one, it would be like in like arguments, it'd be the inability to like see things from a different perspective to where like somebody is so concrete into what they believe that they're
always right.
Yeah, they're always right. They're unable to like ever concede or even think about something from a perspective that isn't their own. And those are my two. I think I did pretty well.
Okay, right.
I think I'm safe.
I'm gonna say my physical one, not to think about the other one. While young Rich
I can't believe Rocky did that.
Yeah, that's wild. Kawhi over here. Because the physical. This is physical. It's not a It's if they can't dance. Ooh,
dang! That counts for physical.
That's fair though.
And then you got no rhythm. Yeah, I feel that.
Rhythm's one thing. Like I can teach a little bit of rhythm, so I'm cool with that. It's like, because dancing to me is your ability to just do. It's not necessarily being a necessarily good dancer.
Right. Right.
If you can the music comes on and you're making up stuff, like I don't expect you to do specific moves a specific way. Just at least be able to relax enough, and it shows your confidence, and that plays too.
Yeah,
but like,
do you think there's people out there that actually can't dance or just aren't confident enough to just let it go?
No, people can't. There's some people that cannot dance. But it's the same way that like I think people can't sing right away. Some people start with the ability a little more inclined to it.
Yeah.
And you can learn to sing better. You might not be amazing, but you can get better. You can get better at dancing the same way.
Yeah, that's a good.
So if you're out there and you can't dance,
stay away.
You too will learn. you can, or we're not going to date, and that's okay.
Okay, what's your other one?
So what's it? A non-physical trait,
and then
dancing was kind of physical. I'll count that.
Can you go? Because I need to think.
Oh, sure. I think I got a couple.
A couple. Go ahead.
No. I'm not going to say them all, but I mean,
go for it.
Yeah. Go ahead. We got time.
Because it may stir something in my brain.
It's just the way it is. Like if a girl had like short hair, like really short hair, like above the shoulders,
short?
like
like
up,
a bob?
Like if her hair
I can handle if it's like
make sure Will Smith ain't in the room real quick.
Okay, we'll call back.
Rocky was waiting just to.
How's it going?
Yeah.
This man's sharp today.
He's on it.
I don't know. I don't want you looking like a man.
Short.
I
That's a physical turnoff. It's what can I say?
I mean, hair grows though. You know what I mean?
Hair does grow, but I mean,
No short hair.
but this
Cool.
is
That's you.
this
This is you. You don't got to defend it.
We
If you
don't
don't
gotta
got
defend
to
it.
No, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
We're talking. Okay, fair.
It's an open room.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think on the
Safe
non-physical, probably just shallowness or gossip. I hate that.
I can feel that.
Gossip is shallow to me. So I just like someone who gossips a lot or doesn't care about what other
It
people.
just shows. I think it's just like a lack of maturity. The other day I was at the volleyball courts, and this one chick who's dating one of the guys that I kind of play with or dated, that came to me. It's like, oh my god, you would not believe what Zach did the other day. Let me tell you. And I literally am sitting there in my chair, and I'm like, I'm just trying to play volleyball.
I don't need to
Just
hear
let me
this.
slap some balls.
I literally was like, hey, I don't want to hear this. Like, I literally said that. But
You
I
did?
tried to do it in the most polite way
That's what I like
possible.
about you.
She probably still got offended, but
What's
I
that?
really don't care.
I think I found mine, but it just goes into what I said earlier. Is that I want my chick to be good to me, and so if she's mean to me,
I think Grant's thing.
I
don't want her to be mean.
I don't
this is
want
all
it.
come
She's
out
got to
early.
be nice.
An experience.
I want a nice girl.
Man. Like I just want her to be nice to me.
Yeah, I feel
and
that.
like I get it. Like no matter who I'm with, I'm sure we'll have our ups and downs, and we're gonna have moments that are like that. But like in the day to day, I want you thinking nice things and doing nice things.
Yeah,
not
being like uplifting, speaking like, yeah.
I don't
it's good,
need
it's good.
drama and issues and fighting. Like I'm built for whatever in the world, and I'm tough when I need to be. I'm not trying to also be tough with the person I love and care about. I'm trying to be good to them.
Yeah. That's good. That's good answers.
Yeah, I don't know. Our society's getting weird in a lot of ways, and I'm not gonna get into
What
that.
you got, Rocky?
Rocky, you got anything on physical and non-physical?
So physical, I can't really think of anything. It's more like just BO. I just don't want to go stink.
Yeah,
I think we can all respect
that's
that.
a good one. That's a good
That's a good
answer.
one.
And then non-physical is like there's girls who have standards. Like I want my guy to be 6'2", white, tan. I don't mark any of those boxes.
He said, "No check,
Because
no
then,
check."
like, how do
and
I
no
sound like I want my girl to be 5'5", in shape,
Yeah.
dude? It's like they won't like me if I do that. So
Yeah.
I don't want that being done to me.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
I think it goes
As
back
we
to, like,
all
Sean.
describe what we don't like. I know.
Rocky.
I think we all did well though with like.
We said our preface before it all. Like this is just
Yeah.
You know,
I think it doesn't speak for down the line. Like, let's say my wife lost her hair. I'm not going to stop loving her.
Dang.
And I was like, 15 years in, she gets cancer. And we're done.
Just
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry.
if my wife's PMSing is mean to me, like I will divorce her. No, no, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? We'll figure all these things out. We're just trying to make sense of this idea.
trying to figure it out.
Things we were inclined to, maybe. You know, what we maybe feel as something draws interest.
Next up, I got I don't know if we want to talk about this at all, but the whole Johnny Depp thing, him winning the trial, you boys, got
Yeah,
any
let me
thoughts on
think
that?
about it. I don't care, and we're not gonna talk about it. Dude, the only thing I'll say
All I'm
about
saying
it,
is I miss Johnny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I miss the movies with Johnny.
what I'll say though is I'll skip straight past the topic and go right to conspiracy and say I think something's up because there's nothing of value in any of it. It's
the trial, you mean?
Yeah,
Being
there's
like,
nothing. There's
Yeah.
zero reason why any of us should watch, care, or be involved
I
in
agree.
any of it.
Yeah.
And it is on all social media platforms to the max extent
It's a
of
lot.
any
Yeah,
topic.
it's a
Like
lot.
think about like even if someone wins the Super Bowl, that's an actual applicable topic because people are fans of the sports teams. People have investments, they have bets, and they have whatever. They actually involved in some kind of way. This is Johnny Depp and his wife and their story, and they're reposting and sharing to where it's all over everything.
it's too much. No, I
I
agree.
think something's going on that's coming up to take people's attention away from something else, to cover up something else, or just to be a talking point.
It's not
I
the
can see
first
that.
time I've heard that either. I think you're on.
Is Ukraine? Is there still a war in Ukraine?
Who knows?
Exactly.
Who knows?
Exactly, Rocky. I don't like this.
I can see that.
You
And
know,
I feel bad because like
also
to-
Ukraine, what happened to COVID, right? COVID was the thing. Ukraine hit, COVID disappeared. Johnny Depp hit, Ukraine disappeared.
Dang.
I just don't like how this
hierarchy
is happening.
goes COVID, Russia, Johnny Depp.
It could be anything. It's just
Yeah.
it's whatever's new because this Johnny Depp thing isn't anything of value. There's
No, yeah.
nothing worth anything in it, but it's taking over. and it's just the next thing. It's always the next thing. It doesn't have to be a good or a bad thing. It's just the next thing.
I mean, it could
I'd say the value of it. The people lost Jack Sparrow.
That was rough. I do love me some Jackson, but even though I think they should just stop with the movies, like they made like what
4.
There's a lot of them, 4 or 5 of them with them. So like at some point you gotta cut the umbilical cord and just let it be.
I think he cut it, man. He said, "Forget this."
Right, and then they lost Grindelwald too.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
From Fantastic Beasts, they replaced his whole character.
Oh yeah, not a big Fantastic Beast guy.
I actually just saw the new one too. And
I did too.
Dope.
It was
good. Dude. You know, okay, the juxtapose of the great CGI and then the worst is this new movie, The Secrets of Dumbledore, lined up against the new Matrix movie. The new Matrix is the trashiest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And the CGI and everything is worse than the older ones that was forever ago.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
It's
I don't know.
so trash.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you watch this new, it like reinstilled our ability to make up ideas, be creative, and then match that with amazing CGI. Because I mean, there's one moment they're fighting in this room. This girl throws this book down, and the pages are floating, and they're
everywhere.
And they're running on the pages of the book, and then it's like, what is happening? It's crazy.
You gotta see that thing in 3D.
And then the book closes.
Yeah, and the book closes and everything disappears. And then they left some, to sprinkle down the ground. I think they just did that for,
I heard the Top Gun movie is really good.
Man, fire.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Real good?
Good.
Did you like the first one?
First one's good. First one's great. This one is way better.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Yeah, way better. Because, I mean, the first one's great. I got a whole bunch of one-liners. I think the first one has more one-liners.
It's very
than this new
quotable.
one.
I feel like a lot of people quote Top Gun.
Yeah.
Can you give me some? I don't know. I'm not a Top Gun dude.
Your ego is writing checks that your body can't cash.
Yeah.
I have the need for speed. Do that pilot you do, Maverick.
I've heard all these, but mostly through Suits.
Yeah, you can be my wingman anytime. There's a few.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of those a lot of the time.
Okay.
But,
You ever seen Top Gun?
I haven't.
Oh.
Maybe I got to go back.
yeah,
You do have to go
well,
back. How old is Tom Cruise, though, to be making a movie like
I
that?
think he's like
right.
100.
I think he's...
and he's
Yeah,
like real
man.
big on doing his own
I
stunts.
know.
Yeah, that guy's... How is he so young but so old?
If you guys were a movie star, are you doing your own stunts?
Absolutely.
I think so.
I mean, it depends what the stunt is,
I've always
right?
thought about that.
Here's the
That
thing.
man put him on the side of the aircraft. He
That's crazy.
strapped himself on the side of the
I don't know
aircraft.
if I would do that.
Man,
That's a lot.
That's
I
the
don't know.
one.
It's
Can he go?
commitment.
Wait, did
They
he stay
hired
on the
you.
whole time when they landed, or
Yeah,
did
they
he go
took
in
off
eventually?
and then they came back down, and he's still on it. I assume. I mean, was he going to try to climb in? That's
Like,
way
pop,
more dangerous.
Pop the door open, just slide in.
Let him land. That's how I feel. Oops, he's gone
I
with
think
the
he got
wind.
his teeth fixed too, though. Tom Cruise.
What'd he do with his teeth?
Y'all never knew that his tooth was like in the center of his face.
Oh.
Yeah, it was always been in the center of his face. So if you watch the first Top Gun, you're gonna see it. It's gonna mess you up. It's gonna make you pay attention the whole time. Then this one, I was looking for it.
He's like, where's let me see
And
them
I think it
teeth?
was fixed. I think he fixed them.
Dang, I did not know. Shout
Doing your
out,
own stunts makes me think
shout
of
out
Jackie
Tommy
Chan.
Cruise.
And then he want to be a fighter pilot after this movie. Oh my gosh,
Yo,
I want to go to the
Dude,
F-18s.
G-forces ain't no joke, though.
yeah, they messed me up pretty quick. I'm like,
G-forces
I'm not G.
rough.
You put me on one Dizzy Dragons ride.
Is that something that like you
I'm
can
over
work
it.
on? Like the more you
I tried.
or people built up to it. People just build different.
I feel like some stuff is like inner ear versus like your mental consciousness. Like, okay, so when I do like the Batman ride is where I first started messing with G's on roller coasters where I could ride all of them all day. We went back to back to back. And as soon as I get on the Batman one, whatever it was, this one turn, I'd black out. Every time my eyes would just kind of like, it's like I was about to go into a nap.
It just got
And
real.
I'd be like, and then I'd come back right after the turn, and I realized it, and I go, okay, why is that happening? And it was because I was tired by the end of the day, and I'm just kind of letting it take me wherever, and so it's like pushing the G's everywhere. Versus then I started to tighten and focus so that I would keep a tight core, and I'd look ahead of the turn, and I would actually not pass out at all, and I would maintain through anything.
So you can't work through it, yeah.
So I think there is some kind of like, and if you ever watch them do the G-force testing, they teach them the techniques on how to sip air and breathe, like, and hold it, like,
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, I think there's probably
Watch
techniques.
those videos on YouTube.
Yeah, there's techniques that probably make it easier, but I think there has to be like a biological factor. Some people are just more like prone to.
I'm sure.
Feel into more, but the only time I felt that was when I went with Lancaster. He drives like a Porsche around the track of the Americas or whatever, and we were driving around real fast. And like, yeah, I felt like it felt like my brain was on like the side of my like skull, and then like I couldn't see out of my left eye. I remember just being like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, it's not fun when that G.
But could you imagine being like, you're the only pilot in a jet? Yeah. You pass out, you die. Like,
or worse, or not worse. I mean, but same scenario. You're like doing that, and you're leaning in one direction too hard, and so it makes you pull that direction. Now you're pulling and making your own situation worse.
It's just a loop.
Yeah.
You're just going in a circle.
From the air, G forces in circles.
That would suck.
Yeah. They're radioing you. Captain Kidd, what's going on up there? And you're like, Kid.
Oh, man. Wow. That's good.
Just spinning.
Oh, man.
Damn, how did we get to freaking G-forces? Oh,
G-force, G-fuel.
Top Gun.
Where did Top Gun come from? We came from Johnny Depp.
Bro, I'm setting a record for most number of yawns, and I don't know if it's because I'm doing the 30-day thing, and I'm just not.
Are you gonna talk about your 30-day thing? Tell people what it is.
I'll tell some of it.
Tell people what it is.
So you know how people do.
He did 69 hard.
What was your 69 hards?
Yeah, it was 69
what did he do?
He did.
No, it was 75 hard.
He did.
It was 75.
He did 69 hard.
69 the hard way. What was so? What's that
the
entail?
hard way?
I'm sure people already know about it.
Just give them like
okay. It's a list of daily challenges where you, for 75 days straight, you have to do there's like 7 daily challenges. And if you mess up, you have to start over. And the first, you have to drink a gallon of water a day. You got to take a selfie in the mirror. You got to stick to a diet plan with no cheat meals. You got to work out twice a day, one inside for 45 minutes and one outside for 45 minutes. What else is there? Did I already say they got, yeah. You can't drink any alcohol. I already said the diet.
Oh.
You couldn't eat like dessert, could you?
Yes, no desserts.
Every day for 75
so what
days?
is the diet?
Yeah, so you gotta set your own terms. So mine was like, no.
So could someone do it and have desserts?
Yeah, but I think most people
kind of defeats the
don't.
purpose.
I think most
people.
Yeah, I think most people probably don't do that. But I had no fried food and no desserts for 75 days. So that was my challenge.
Dang, no fried foods would be tough.
Yeah, working at Chick-fil-A, seeing fried food, smelling fried food every day.
I'd never eat fried food. That'd be so easy for me.
So did you lose weight?
I did.
He did.
Was that your goal?
But I also gained muscle and lost weight.
Yeah, he was looking thick afterwards in a good way.
Yes. I gained. I kind of gained in every category except for fat. I got more mobile because I worked a lot on mobility too. So not every workout was like go hard. Like I had to pace myself because I was not used to working out 2 times a day. That was hard. And sometimes like at Chick-fil-A, sometimes I have to work. Some days I'm working like 8 a.m. to like 11 p.m.
That's disgusting.
That's too many hours.
I thought I was having a hard go demo from 9 to 3.
You thought a 9 to 5 was bad. He's over here at 11 to 11.
It's a 9 to 3, bro. 3 o'clock rolls around. I'm out of there.
It was supposed to be a 7 to 3.
We get home working at 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, I totally don't want to do this, but I'm like, I'm not giving up. I was so determined. Yeah.
But you done it.
We done it, and I'm better. I'm better now.
Well, that's kind of what I want to do. I was just
for 30 days, it's not 69.
Yeah, definitely not 60,
30 days is still a
whatever.
challenge.
I just said 60 or 30 because I was like, these are all things to me that are challenging. And I see them all as things that aren't necessarily bad or maybe good, but that the overuse or whatever, they could be seen as problematic. And so I just decided to scoop them all up in one go and say for 30 days, I'm not going to do these. And then since doing it, I thought, why did I decide to do this? But also there's been a ton of benefits that even this morning I realized a new one. But I've called it Integrity 30.
Okay.
Here we go. And the idea
After
is,
you're done, maybe I'll jump on this train.
Yeah, the Integrity 30 is kind of for me to also rebuild a little bit of like, I do what I say I'm going to do, which I think is really important. Whenever we set a goal, we just do it. So that helps me practice that. Also to implement some form of self-control. There's a lot of things that I don't have to have self-control in my life. And I've just decided, you know what? I'm going to implement it so that I can still practice that and prove to myself I have it. So I picked these things. one, I love soda, not just like Coke or whatever, but I like sparkly waters and energy drinks. And I just like the flavor and the taste. And I think it's really good and I like it. And so I'm doing only water, which is very tough.
Wow.
That was like one of the toughest ones.
No kombucha either?
Nothing.
Oh, man.
I know.
No kombucha.
Nothing but water. Like no juice. I didn't
do that.
I had to make it very simple or else I would veer off and then be like, oh, I would find a way to kind of do my thing.
Yeah.
But after 10 days, I'm going to add sparkling water because once you see the rest of these two, I'm just like, I went way too hard with this.
Yeah. He went more than 75 hard.
And I went a little too hard on it. And then another one for me is probably my second biggest challenge. No candy, desserts, or treats. And I know what those are because even if I'm like craving something sweet and I go eat an apple, I wouldn't see that as a treat, a dessert, or candy. But if I'm using it in that sense, the whole point of this Integrity 30 for me is to not ever go for something to fix the problem I have, like just me fixing everything I have. And hopefully instead pray more in those times if I really do need something or recognize I actually don't need that, whatever it may be. So that one's been really challenging because I do miss desserts and candy and I eat a ton of candy. So that's tough. And caffeine, no caffeine, alcohol, nicotine, any of those, which nicotine's obviously not a problem, but the caffeine and alcohol, like here in Texas, people drink a lot more. It's been fine. That's not a big deal because I don't drink that much. Caffeine, though, I have it like more often than I thought. And if I'm feeling tired, again, I grab that to fix. And now I just told myself I'll probably be more tired. And that's why I'm yawning all day. I'm like, is that this? But either way, I've also told myself I'm going to enjoy that if I'm tired. I'll take a nap if I need to. I'm not a napper. I told myself if I need a nap, I will. And if I'm tired, that means I probably should not do that. And if I've got some work to do, I'll go out and go for exercise or something to wake me up, not caffeine. And there's a couple more, but I've also added some things in to do. I don't think it's always good to just take away stuff. I was going to read a Devo a day, a daily devotional. I was going to run 3 times a week, over 5 mile or 5. I was going to run over a 5K 3 times a week, which is not too crazy for me. But I said I was going to read this book. I was going to read 3 pages. And for me, 3 pages is a lot. And
when he told me this, I clowned him.
He was like, whoa, big man, don't read too much. But for me, that's a lot. So I hope that if anyone's trying these things, like set your standard. For me, 3 pages at night is about as many as I can take before I can fall asleep. So I told myself 3. And then there's some other things I added on that list as well.
You don't want to read them?
You can talk to me
offline.
Okay.
Offline. That's funny. So I actually like that. So after that challenge thing, I feel like I need like something like this pretty regularly so I created a new challenge. I tried to start like 3 weeks ago. But I'm like, all right, no, it's actually what you said about saying something and sticking to it is like a big lesson for me right now. I'm trying to like, all right, I said it, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna finish it, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah, there's something about accomplishing something that makes you feel good.
I guess I just want to encourage anyone who's thinking about doing something like this. I went super hard, and I do that. It's
one extreme to another,
and maybe shouldn't go that extreme. So knowing I was going to do that, I started once, like I soft started once, like knowing I'm probably going to screw this up to see how bad it's going to be, and then I started. So I had like a 4 or 5 day of like, can I really just drink water? Am I really going to not eat candy? And check myself, and it was. I was like, whoa, this is going to be super hard, and I was like, okay, now I'm ready, and I went for it. But I also didn't chew myself up because I had accountability friend doing it with me so that I could like kind of talk to them when you're like, oh man, I really want to do this. And I reached out to them and they have a wedding that they decided before they started. And they didn't do all the stuff I did, but they were like not going to have alcohol. But they said on that wedding, I am going to have alcohol. And I was like, okay, cool. Good to know. In that way, it's different. It's more than just having rules for rules' sake. It's about deciding something in your mind and doing it.
I mean, it's just discipline at the end of the day.
Yeah, self-control and discipline.
My like, not devil's advocate, but my like kind of take on stuff like this, like the 75 hard and like the 30-day challenges is like, I get the point of making something like harder than what it should be to kind of jumpstart your life into a better position or jumpstart just your mental or your willpower, your discipline to be another thing to where like, if you do something super hard for a while, then, you know, after that, you'll reap benefits because everything else will seem so easy. It's kind of like the principle of like, if you do an ice bath every morning and that's like the first thing you do, then like everything in the day is going to feel a little bit easier because you started your day with something that's super hard. But I think when you do stuff that's like lifestyle changes like this, you should try to implement things that can become no longer like a 30-day or like a 75
sustainable
day.
Stuff.
Yeah, that stuff that's sustainable that'll actually like, you can live like that for the rest of your life, and that's healthy, and that's not like, oh, I'm depriving myself of this to achieve this goal, but more or less of like, oh, like I don't need this, like I could live without this, and like I actually shouldn't ever do this because every time I do this, it brings me like, you know, a negative. And I'm not saying like don't eat, you know, dessert or candy like that, but just have a discipline to not only do that. Like if you have a problem, then, you know, solve it, but.
And that's, I guess, what I'm trying to do. I'm doing my own approach of solving these things because all my things on my list, I'm actually cool with doing. Like I'm cool with having a beer when I want one. I'm cool with having soda. I'm cool with eating desserts. And
you don't got a problem with it, sure.
I've learned that I have been afforded a lot of chances to do stuff. But even for me, even though I'm afforded a lot, I have to implement something.
Yeah.
Or I still need self-control. Even if I don't need it on certain things, I still need it in general to help my mental fortitude of knowing like, dude, when I say I'm doing something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I caught myself doing certain things that I said I wasn't going to do. And I was like, oh, this is super unhealthy. And I really don't like how I feel.
No, for sure. I think it's good. I'm not saying it's not good. And I think I need to do something of that sort to where just like almost like if you listen to, what's the...
No volleyball for a month.
Nah, heck no, you tripping. No way.
No, but something... make it a day.
I wouldn't make it a day. Something like a dopamine like detox to where like you're not always getting rushed by certain things like scrolling on your phone. And
that's one of the things I've read. I don't scroll.
Things that are like intuitively like just pleasure seeking with no reward on the back end. Because I think... Like, so candy is a good example of that. Scrolling, watching just, you know, like random comedy videos, which is fine to do once in a while. But when those things are so attainable and so easy to get and so like at the accessible, then they lose their value and they lose their meaning. And it becomes a way for you to like always kind of be at a high in life. And then kind of what Grant's talked about before is, well, then when you're not doing those things, you don't feel as good. To whereas I think when you are able to kind of sustain your life in a place where you use those things to reward yourself for a hard day's work doing something versus like the first thing you do in the morning is, you know, I don't eat some candy and like, you know, watch some YouTube, right? Which like I like earning
I've been
things.
known to maybe do those things.
I think there's something good for your mental health about earning something, putting in a hard work and then allowing yourself to like have the benefits or like, you know, have a soda or have like every time like I don't love drinking soda. I don't love candy like you do. But if I'm going to do stuff like that, I try to like tell myself like if there's a reward that I want, right? Say like I want to eat this certain dessert. I want to do something like this. In my mind, something that's always been super helpful is I'll always like, I know I could just take it, right? I could just eat this cookie right now. Well, we'll just use a cookie, for example. I could just eat this cookie right now. And Crumble. I know I'm going to eat the cookie today. I will tell myself, okay, I'm going to eat this cookie. Before I'm allowing myself to eat this cookie, I need to do my taxes, do this, that. Once I'm finished with these things, I'm allowed to do this. And then that fuels, it's good because it fuels me to do stuff that I don't want to do. And then once I accomplish these tasks that are hard and that I don't want to do, one, I get like a kind of a feeling of just accomplishment, which is, you know, kind of a gift in its own. And then I also reinforce that positive behavior with something like a cookie.
Mm. Yeah, I like it. I don't know if it's because we've started as a society to slip away from delayed gratification into where we need to implement those things because like people I've learned in the dating world, like if you want to just have sex with someone, you can, and that doesn't build a real relationship. And some people want a relationship, but then they're finding people that are just like open to just having sexual relationship. And then they're like, well, normally that was like a delayed thing that you would do once you got to know them better or whatever. And with the increase in that, maybe that's one thing. Yeah. But either way, all I do, I was catching myself saying I was going to do stuff and not doing it. It could be very simple. It could have been whatever. And it could be simple for you if you're thinking, I'm going to go to the gym today, or I'm going to not eat this thing, or I'm not going to stay up past this time, or I'm going to wake up at this time. If you continually say you're going to do something and don't, I just started getting irked by people I met that were going like, yeah, I mean, I was going to lose weight and losing weight's a huge deal. So like even more if you're like, well, I was going to show up on time and you didn't. That was something I was like, I don't like when I say I'm going to be on time and then I don't. And I don't know why. I'm in control of my time. Yeah. And I hate that, but I'll do it. And I'm like, ugh.
It's a very much internal frustration. I do the same thing. And that's like, I totally link up with you on that. It's like an internal frustration when I do it too. Like I said something, I didn't do it. I don't know.
Disappointed with yourself. Yeah.
So that's what the Integrity 30 is really all about. And
Dirty 30.
And I should say just a couple points that it's been good is like,
yeah, what are the benefits?
There's some spiritual side of it for me too.
Levitating.
So, I've levitated this morning, which is pretty cool.
Very nice.
And no,
kind of nice.
Like one thing I realized is I am more apt to sit in a moment than any other time that I felt before. Like even this morning when the pastor is kind of going on and wasn't quite going somewhere with it. I wasn't like, all right, we got to get out of here. I just found myself like, okay, and then worship was going on and I like worship. So I was like, yeah, let it go. I just didn't have anywhere I felt like I needed to run off to or be or do it. Cause I was just like, I'm fine with this exact moment. And there's been times I've been in my bed in midday where I don't normally nap and I'm like, I'm really tired. And I sit there and I'm not like, well, let me scroll through something because I'm not scrolling or whatever. I'm just like, or I could just sit in complete silence for a little bit and it's just is what it is.
That's just mindfulness.
Yeah. But I mean, even last night I was at a dinner thing and we're all talking with each other and some people were like, oh, we got to go. And I was just sitting there going like, I could go or I could not. And
this dude's a monk.
It was just like this peace that I had, which is like the coolest part for me. I just had peace.
Yeah.
But I also had, what I found out today was I also have patience with that where I'm like, it's okay. You're figuring it out. Keep telling me about it or, in a moment.
I call that my palm trees mindset because I feel like I've lost it since I became like an executive director. I feel like I've lost it because I've become go, and no matter what, I got to get fit in my personal lifestyle when I'm not at work. But like, man, I was telling somebody the other day, I got to get back to my palm trees mindset because I used to be really good at doing that, sitting and enjoying the moment. I'm not so good at it now.
I recommend Integrity 30.
I think I shall challenge myself on that.
I'll have to write it up a little more.
Yo, send me that when you're done with it. I'll do it.
He's got to make it a little more structured.
Yeah, a little structure. Because I mean, people are gonna take it because no one can know how hard these things are for me.
Yeah, it's like personalized, right? Like if like for me, not eating candy would be a breeze. I don't eat candy ever. But
my friend who's doing it with me, they just took a few of them and they picked the ones that are super easy for them, and I was like,
yeah.
Thanks for nothing.
No, I can't do CrossFit for 30 days. That'll be my
thing. Man, that's a challenge.
Yeah, you have to add CrossFit for 30 days.
Oh God. I think we're gonna wrap up here soon. Does anybody have any last minute additions, questions, topics they wanna?
What's your top attribute in a woman?
I thought we already did this.
We did
anything to talk about women.
Oh, we didn't. Wait, hold on. We didn't do best attributes.
Best
physical. I did. He kind of did it.
Be kind to me.
I feel like, is he the only one that did it?
Be kind of nice to me.
Be kind of nice to me. I got a list on my phone. I might just pull it up.
He does have a long list.
There, just for the record, anyone
two?
who's listening, it's not that I have a list of like things I shame women about.
You don't got to explain your list, King. You don't got to explain your list, King. You just keep that list on your own.
You're right.
Ain't nobody out of question. My physical one would be, I think, eyes. For some reason, eyes. Because I feel like eyes are like window to the soul, so you can like off of just eyes alone, I could tell if I like somebody or not.
It's beautiful.
And then non-physical would be the ability to set a volleyball. Not playing. Non-physical would be I think confidence or like.
Dude, you're like the same.
Yeah, confidence. But when I say confidence, I mean like openness, ability to like be confident in who they are and like openness, that kind of vibe.
Well, I'm looking for a dime.
What you got?
That's top of the line. Cute face, little waist with a big behind.
This man spitting bars over here.
No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry, ladies.
Is that Mike Jones?
Mike
I don't know who that is.
What's your physical?
My physical?
I think that's Mike
Jones. Lady.
Over here saying personality.
I mean, there's a long list. There's a long list. But if you know it, you got it, ladies. And non-physical,
You didn't answer the question.
You know if you got it late.
If you got it, you know. It's between me and you.
Yeah, pretty much. And non-physical is to challenge me mentally.
Yeah,
like,
like
to
that.
have, like just strike me with conversations just to make me think outside of my comfort. Like make me see your side. Like, you know.
Yeah. I
Help
agree.
me understand that.
That's what James was saying today that I never really thought about, but he was saying like ideally in the person you love, they're pulling out the best in you. Mm-hmm. And I've never thought about like someone pulling out the best in me, but maybe that's why I like someone to be nice to me, because then I respond with love to that. And I feel like the best side of me is when I'm being loving to other people. So maybe that is something. That's good. That's a good point. I like that. So I would add to mine because I want to be nice, because it brings out the good
You
qualities
go ahead
in
and
me.
you pick your physical attribute. You've talked enough about
Physical. Where do I begin about these booties?
You know
do-
it if you got it, ladies.
I would. I
said
like lips
assets.
because hopefully I'll kiss my wife like every day, all the time, and I.
You want some
Do
juicy
you want a girl
lips.
with lip injections or BBL?
Oh.
Would you rather?
What's BBL mean? God.
Booty injections.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know that.
That's a thing.
I don't want either one to be injected if I could choose. I want to have, nice lips, but also like it doesn't, you don't need to get fake ones. I don't think. I mean,
That's another one. Be confident, ladies.
it's
And
two
what you
things.
got.
Yeah. When you're confidence is a big thing, man.
Confidence and natural.
Yeah.
I think though, putting it on us is like when we make a woman feel secure, they act confidently. And I've seen that a lot where
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's good too. We can help.
Man, actually, I don't know where this came from, but I feel like with some people, I just noticed this the other day, right? With some people, I think it's mostly like, because I haven't noticed it with dudes because I'm not staring into dudes' eyes too much. But there's some chicks where I can hold like super long eye contact with, and some chicks where I don't feel comfortable doing it. Is that just me, or is there some people I can just hold eye contact with for a long time, and some people I'm like, I feel weird looking at your eyes. Like I feel like
I think I can hold eye contact with someone who doesn't have beautiful eyes. If you got beautiful eyes, it's gonna be tough.
he's like
Because you start thinking stuff.
Yeah,
or what?
I'm like, whoa.
Hey, eyes was my answer, bro. You stealing my answer.
I was talking to someone last night who's a friend of mine, and I couldn't look them in the eyes as much as I thought I could.
That's what I'm saying. Some people I can
just
stare in the
thought
eyes
that
for
last
days.
night.
But some people I'm like, whoa, I don't feel comfortable staring at your eyes. Maybe it's like a trust thing. I don't know.
is this love?
You did say they're the window to the
Is this
soul, so
love?
maybe.
What is your physical and non-physical positive attribute, Richard?
I thought you'd skip me.
Young
No, I'm not gonna skip you.
I would have said eyes, but you
Thank
took
God Matt isn't here.
Yeah, Matt
For
had
this
a
segment?
list, too.
Imagine if Matt and I were on the same podcast.
It would be aggressive.
He would be
man.
Very
aggressive.
aggressive.
Oh man. Physical. I'll say like mannerisms and posture go a long way.
Posture's good.
For me. Like a little hair flip really can get me going. I'm just saying.
Hit him with it.
Little hair flip.
What does that do for you?
Slade. Non-physical has got to be like security. They are super secure in who they are, which goes back to your confidence factor.
Yeah.
But really, like they don't have to push any kind of
No, I feel that. Word. Well, let me check the shout out of the week. But if you guys want to check, actually do the commercial stuff. Do the commercial stuff.
I want to say some things to the people out there. Craig McCartney, the Island Ninja here, currently checking in. I got some stuff out, man. I'm about to finish. I just put into publication, hopefully by the end of this month, a children's book. So be looking out for that. It's going to be on Amazon. Check on my Instagram. I'm very proud of it. I have yet to read it without crying. I'll tell you the full story later, but be on the lookout for that.
He's been working on this for a while. When he first moved to Houston, I remember telling me about this book.
This is beyond special to me. So, and I really mean that. And then I also just finished an app so you can train 3 different levels, whether you're doing your never done a pull up all the way up to you want to train how I train for Ninja Warrior. I have an app, islandninjaapp.com. And when you get on there, you'll see it all. You can train that stuff. There's other stuff. There's 15-minute workouts that you don't need any equipment for. I tried to make all the ninja stuff not need equipment either, so you can build that strength wherever. And other workouts for like Murph and different things if you just want to get fit.
When's the book coming out? Like, gonna be done?
It's supposed to, I told him I needed one in my hand by July 4th.
When will they have like a bunch of them?
It should be. That means if I have it in my hand, that means it's on Amazon.
Okay, because I'm thinking we get a signed copy to all the patrons. You feel me? And we could cover that with the Patreon money. So it's like,
dang, Patreons. You hear that?
Maybe we get it out before it's even out. You feel
me? You might get the first copy.
Dang.
Wow, that'd be wild.
I think we're gonna try to do that. So
okay,
if you guys want to be part of that, go to patreon.com/kindofnice and get your signed copy. I'll sign it if you guys want me to, but we'll get the Kind of Nice crew to sign it.
Yeah, we'll get the Kind of Nice crew so everyone knows you got the special edition first ones. That's a wild thought.
That's a good thought. That's a good thought.
Yeah, we'll get that going, man.
Shout out of the week. We don't have a new one. So if you want a guaranteed shout out next week, all you got to do is go to the iTunes podcast app, leave a 5-star review, write something down. If you don't write something down, then I can't see it. And you'll be the shout out for next week. Other than that, this has been the Kind of Nice podcast. Yeah, we'll hope you guys have a good week. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Later.
I'm kinda nice with the gear. Shout out my area code. I'm feeling nice with the drill. And now I'm about to bury the flow.